right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
I want to kind of be a change in the community.
9 new recruits vow to protect and serve the city of St. Louis.
The weather impact forecast has us tracking spot storms, air quality issues, and building heat through the weekend. When the most intense heat arrives and how long it lasts.
For the first time since the debate debacle, President Biden holds a news conference.
I think I'm the most qualified person to run for president.
Was it enough to calm fears about his political future? Just hours ago, President Biden addressed the nation defending his candidacy. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson. Mike Bush is off tonight. He also doubled down on his ability to defeat Donald Trump in November. NBC's Alice Barr has more as pressure for him to step aside grows.
Hey, buddy.
President Biden tonight closing out the NATO summit while battling an open question about his political future.
I think I'm the most qualified person to run for president. I beat him once, and I will beat him again.
In his first solo press conference in 8 months, the president defending his fitness for the job, saying he's taken 3 significant and intense neurological exams.
In each case, as recent as February, and they say I'm in good shape.
Under a microscope after his poor debate performance, Mr. Biden answered the first question about Vice President Harris with a fumble.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president.
Former President Trump seized on the gaffe online. The president fired back.
Listen to him.
The embattled president pushing back against the growing number of Capitol Hill Democrats calling for him to drop out of the race.
The best way to assure them is the way I assure myself, and that is, am I getting the job done?
He said he made a, quote, stupid mistake heading into the debate with an overloaded schedule.
I just got to pace myself a little more. Pace myself.
While acknowledging the demands of the presidency.
If I slow down, I can't get the job done. That's a sign that I shouldn't be doing it. But there's no indication of that yet. None.
President Biden looking to turn the page.
I'm not in this for my legacy. I'm in this to complete the job I started.
While sending a message to world leaders, members of his own party, and the American people. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
I mean, we're just going to keep fighting. I don't know what to say. You know, I gotta do what we have to do. I don't like where we are, but.
That was Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker caught on a hot mic. A spokesperson for the governor confirmed he was talking about President Biden and his status as the Democratic candidate.
Look, when you stumble in a highly watched debate, people want to know if you can continue, right? They want to know if you can overcome the bad press that you got during that debate. And I think they were slow out of the gates after the debate to make it clear to people that he's going to be the candidate and that he's capable of taking on and beating Donald Trump, and he's doing that now.
Earlier in the day, Pritzker publicly stood behind the president. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, will be bringing live updates from the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee starting July 15th here on 5 on Your Side, KSDK.com, and the 5+ streaming app. He'll attend the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, too. That's starting August 19th. Another shooting in Soulard has neighbors speaking out once again. Police say nearly 24 hours after a fight broke out inside Molly's and then gunfire rang out. The restaurant owner was shot in his leg. 5 on Your Side's Robert Townsend joins us live from Soulard. Robert.
Kelly, Molly's owner did not want to talk on camera, but let me tell you, neighbors have plenty to say about the shooting that happened at this Soulard business and the ongoing violence in the city. Around 11:30 Wednesday night, investigators say a fight first broke out inside Molly's after 2 men were kicked out for allegedly stealing a watch and cell phone. Molly's owner approached the men and asked them to return the items. According to a police report, one of the guys hit the owner in the head before security calmed him down. Police say minutes later, the man went to a car, grabbed a gun, came back and shot the business owner in his leg. Officers arrested one of the men, the other ran off. This comes less than 24 hours after a rolling shootout in the neighborhood. Area business owners say it's got to stop.
That's a bad thing.
In March, burglars broke into Denny Hammerstone's nearby restaurant.
They grabbed our cash register drawers, but, you know, there's nothing in them at night. It's terrible because you get violated. Crime's down, actually, in Soulard.
Still, 2 shootings in 2 days are unnerving for neighbors.
I think what anybody thinks, that it's horrible. I'm scared and I'm sad.
LaSalle Park resident Irene Allen visited this Soulard Park today. She too is fed up with the citywide gun violence.
In the midst of it, I've seen an actual community cropping up. If we can just build on that community and hang on to that community.
Now, records show so far this year, 3 people have been shot here in Soulard. We're live in the neighborhood. Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
It's time for the weather impact forecast. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell was tracking rain earlier tonight. Scott, did some areas get drenched tonight?
You know, there were spots east and southeast of St. Louis that got under some heavy thunderstorms that were fairly scattered, with the exception of this area, eastern St. Clair County, over into parts of Clinton and Washington County. That had the most widespread showers and thunderstorms, if you want to call it that. And they've pushed away from the area, but not before dropping upwards of a half to almost an inch of rain. Scott Air Force Base coming in with 8,800 in the rain gauge, 1,100 in Arnold with a brief shower there. We turn our attention to the light winds overnight. Poor air quality will be developing tomorrow after potentially some patchy fog to start us out the door. From 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. tomorrow, it's an ozone action day in St. Louis. Ozone levels will be rising because of the morning pollution, which makes the air unhealthy for sensitive groups. We get into that orange category. So limit your time outside tomorrow, especially for the kids. Don't want them outside too long. Morning time is best for the exercise. And if you can avoid driving tomorrow, it's not a bad thing. If you can arrange your schedule, try to consolidate as many trips as you can. Those spot rain chances continue into Saturday. Otherwise, it's mainly dry, and we're tracking the big time heat for the weekend. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes, Kelly.
All right, Scotty, you can always get an up-to-date forecast. For a link at any time, just text the word weather to 314-425-5355. New tonight, a push to get more police onto the streets of St. Louis. Just hours ago, a step in the right direction as 9 new recruits received their badges. As 5 on your side's Brent Solomon is live to explain, the work continues to put a dent in the city's police staffing shortage. Brent.
You know, Kelly, I caught up with one of those new recruits not too long ago. He tells me he's most excited about getting on the streets of St. Louis to help make people's lives better. The Police Association says if you want to make officers' lives better, keep hiring.
I saw the state the community was in, especially post-COVID. It really struck a chord with me.
Meet one of the city's newest police officers, Devon Colomo, just getting his badge Thursday.
I wanted to kind of be a change in the community.
We were there as he and 8 other recruits graduated, now joining the ranks of the St. Louis Metro Police Department. Sources say 23 came in with the class. These are the 9 who crossed the finish line.
And once you get into the academy, I mean, there's an educational part of it, there's physical part of it, there's firearm qualifications. So you get multiple opportunities to pass these things, but some people just aren't fit, and it doesn't work out.
Joe Steiger with the Police Officers Association welcomes the new additions, but says in order to give morale a boost within the department, current officers need more relief.
They're still feeling it. They're stressed out. They're overworked. They're asking for help. That's a constant occurrence here. Enticing people to stay, and once you get them here, hopefully you can improve things and make morale better and get some more bodies on the street.
And while the department is down more than 300 officers, the chief tells me it's about quality.
We're going to make sure we put the best trained police officers out there.
Some 17 others are now on the path to potentially graduate from the academy in 4 months.
If you're not going to be honest with people or hold yourself to a higher standard, then I don't think that it's the job for you.
The Police Association says this year 50 officers left the department. The department tells us that over the past few months they've received more than 100 applications and that recruitment efforts are happening each and every day. We're live downtown tonight. Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
Developing tonight out of Manchester, Police Chief Scott Will has been placed on administrative leave. We are told the leave, effective yesterday, is part of an ongoing independent investigation. The day before, Captain Craig Smith, Deputy Police Chief, resigned from his position. Lieutenant Ed Skaggs is now acting chief. He has more than 40 years of experience. This afternoon, the city of St. Louis was back in court for a hearing on a lawsuit filed against the Guaranteed Basic Income Program. The attorneys bringing the suit against the city say it's unconstitutional and against the city charter. 5 on your side's Laura Barcheski joins us with breaking down what happened in court today. Laura?
Kelly, today the judge was considering a temporary restraining order to pause guaranteed basic income payments to families. Ultimately, he didn't make a decision yet.
Just under a month ago, the Holy Joe Society filed a lawsuit against the Guaranteed Basic Income Law, which provides 440 St. Louis families about $500 per month from a pool of $5 million from the American Rescue Plan Act. Attorney Beavis Schock said this about the suit in June.
The Constitution of Missouri and the city of St. Louis's charter documents and ordinances prevent just giving money to somebody for no reason.
Those payments have been going out for about 8 months now. Holy Joe Society attorney Kimberly Mathis was in court Thursday afternoon asking the judge to provide a temporary restraining order to stop payments while the lawsuit played out, saying there's no way to get the money back. Mathis said according to the St. Louis City Charter, using public money for private end is illegal. The city's attorneys pushed back, saying guaranteed income is constitutional if the expenditure of public money to private entities or people serves a public purpose, saying the goal of these payments is to help stimulate the economy and stabilize it in St. Louis. St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones said this in November, supporting the plan.
Families that receive guaranteed basic income are able to care for their children in better ways.
Judge Joseph White did not make a decision on the petition Thursday. St. Louis Treasurer Adam Lane reacted just moments after leaving the courtroom.
I'm very pleased that the judge decided to take an extra look at this petition, so we'll come back on Monday at 11 a.m. to get the final ruling. But the city's Board of Aldermen, the elected persons for the city, agreed overwhelmingly that the Guaranteed Basic Income Program is a public benefit. So my office, the mayor's administration, is committed to making sure that we continue serving the people of St. Louis and serving the city of St. Louis. So we will be back on Monday, and we hope to have a favorable ruling.
Judge White did not make a decision today, but he is scheduled to make a decision on Monday at 11 a.m.
Air conditioning is essential for St. Louis summers. Some families are forced to leave the windows open to keep things cool.
This is my second floor window that my daughter fell out of.
Our I-Team finds out why thousands of renters face the very same dangers with these housing hardships. The involuntary manslaughter trial of actor Alec Baldwin continues, who's expected to take the stand on day 3.
Friday is an orange air quality day, and the rain chances stay limited through Saturday. What's coming Sunday into Tuesday that limits us from our usual routine?
Tonight, a story from the Walnut Park neighborhood in St. Louis City, where a 4-year-old girl fell from a second-story window, a window that was left open because of no AC. Senior investigative reporter Paula Fasson has more on how thousands of renters in our area face similar issues and dangers.
It was right here on a warm spring day where Tamika Williams lived a nightmare.
This is my second floor window that my daughter fell out of and landed on the concrete.
Her 4-year-old daughter lay right here on the ground, bloodied and unconscious.
It just kind of brings tears to my eyes because it's like, my 4-year-old, she don't deserve this. That was like literally all scraped up.
It happened on a day when temps were in the 80s. With no air conditioning, Williams was forced to keep the windows open. Windows with broken netting and no guards.
You can really tell that this is not safe for a kid at all.
Daughter. 4-year-old Malaya spent 3 days in the hospital. Her mother tells us they have a $50,000 medical bill.
She had to get physical therapy. She had to kind of learn how to walk because her whole left side was just messed up.
We reached out to the landlord.
Do you have any response to what happened?
He refused to be interviewed, but claimed air conditioning is not necessary and accused Williams of lying.
In Missouri, there is no state law requiring air conditioning. Instead, the law requires landlords to maintain livable conditions.
I think that it's absolutely ridiculous.
State lawmaker Kimberly Ann Collins believes laws need to change.
Do you think the law is too vague?
I do think that the law is too vague.
In light of our reporting, she says she is prepared to push for stricter housing codes and enforce them.
And I'm willing to take on that responsibility and hold myself accountable as a state legislator and take a look into it.
Was you scared?
Legal experts tell us this mother's situation is not unique. Thousands of renters in the St. Louis region endure similar conditions.
It's horrible.
For Williams and her daughter, the fight for safe housing is far from over. She says she hopes her story will bring about much needed change for all renters. For the I-Team, Paula Vassan, 5 on your side.
In light of the I-Team looking into this, the city tells us they will be inspecting the property. Do you have something you want us to investigate? Leave a voicemail for our I-Team. The number 314-444-5231. You can also email Paula directly. It's pvassan@ksdk.com. Actor Alec Baldwin is on trial for involuntary manslaughter for shooting death on a movie set. Tomorrow, the armorer from the movie Rust will testify. Hannah Gutierrez, Reed's attorneys say she plans to plead the fifth. A jury found Reed guilty in March for the same charges in the killing of cinematographer Helena Hutchins. She is serving 18 months in prison for the crime. Baldwin faces the same sentence if convicted. Texas Governor Greg Abbott wants an investigation into Texas energy companies following Hurricane Beryl. The governor says it's possible the companies underestimated the storm's impact. Almost 500,000 Houston customers are still without power. One company executive saying it won't be restored until next week. Abbott says the pace of recovery is, quote, unacceptable. A dramatic rescue in Wildwood saved a young woman trapped in her car during a flash flood. It happened Tuesday afternoon on Highway 109. Here is a photo of what officials saw when they saved the 19-year-old. They say she hydroplaned and then got trapped. Emergency responders say the rescue is a warning to all drivers amid heavy rain and flooding.
If you get in a situation, the young lady who was driving this vehicle, she remained very calm the entire time. Her vehicle is stable. Don't try to get out of the vehicle. Let us do our job.
2 reminders. If you can't see the road, don't drive through it and slow down when it's wet. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell again with the weather impact forecast. We had some showers in some parts of our region today.
We sure did. And if you were under one of them, even going down 55 towards Arnold here around dinner time, we had a pretty heavy downpour go through. There were some good downpours east and southeast of St. Louis, but not much out there right now. This is a look from City Park back towards the east. You can see those clouds billowing and building as we were tracking those showers and thunderstorms east. No severe weather, but they certainly did put down some heavy rainfall. Scott Air Force Base, almost an inch of rain. Those storms have subsequently moved away. There are a few more coming across parts of west central Missouri into the Ozarks, but they've been falling apart. We do have a lot of residual moisture around. The winds becoming quite light across the area. That comes into play through the overnight hours. Dew point 67, 82 degrees. We still have the clouds at the moment, but that wind barely blowing at all. And with light winds overnight tonight into tomorrow, all this residual moisture, if we get the sky to clear out for any amount of time, we can expect to see some areas of fog develop. There's also a chance that we'll have a few more spot showers and thunderstorms right around daybreak tomorrow morning, and then perhaps again with the heat of the afternoon tomorrow afternoon, but not widespread. Air quality alert from 10 o'clock until 8 o'clock tomorrow, because we're looking at the air quality and ozone in particular going into that unhealthy for sensitive group. So that means those folks that tend to have lung issues. Well, this is a weather impact for you. 10 o'clock until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning into the evening hours. The ozone levels climb by late morning. And so you want to limit your outdoor exercise or exercise early in the morning before those ozone levels creep up. And if you're able to, limit travel tomorrow to try to reduce the pollution that's in the atmosphere that the sun will then act on to try to create that ozone. It should go away and drop off during the evening hours. As you look at the forecast for overnight into early tomorrow morning, not much in the way of rain, but there is still that chance we'll get a pop-up shower or thunderstorm here and there. That's going to be the case again through tomorrow. If you get under one of them, there's also the chance you're going to get some downpours and some heavy rainfall. Beyond that, and after about noon on Saturday, we start really focusing on the heat, and it builds Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, near 100 for high temperatures on Sunday. Those afternoon heat index values topping 100 degrees as well. So your next 7 days do feature some active weather. We have that slight chance for some showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, near 90. Then we're climbing into the 90s on Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday and Tuesday, close to 100. The questions we have for the beginning of next week is what the humidity levels will actually be like, and if thunderstorms will be able to sneak in a little sooner and maybe knock the heat back a little sooner before the middle of the week. Tomorrow, ozone, it's going to be in that unhealthy for sensitive groups. So if you have lung problems, asthma sufferers, make sure you're ready to deal with that and try to spend time indoors.
Be careful, be safe. All right, thanks, Scott. Frank's next with sports.
Kelly, you are going to see a young pitcher who may end up being the ace of the Cardinals. You will also see part of my interview with the great Albert Pujols and a sad story surrounding the Mizzou football program.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
It's been 7 years since the Cardinals have had a homegrown starting pitcher make the All-Star team. The organization used to really churn them out. Don't look now, help could be on the way. That's why we sent Corey Miller to Springfield last night. The guy with the most electric stuff of any Cardinal minor leaguer is still their #1 prospect, Tink Hence. This season in Springfield, Hence has a 3.29 ERA, 73 strikeouts in 54 innings. Although he's seen other 2020 draftees, Jordan Walker, Mason Wynn, and Alec Burleson, reach the majors, Hence is still patient. He knows his time is coming.
Sometimes you can say that, I can feel like, damn, like I feel like I'm ready now and that, but a lot of it is really just trusting timing. I know as long as I'm still progressing on being the best that I can, like no matter where I'm at or where I'm playing, I never let it really get to me because I know eventually that I'm gonna figure it out, and then from there it's just gonna be history.
I don't think we've ever had a time in St. Louis where we can say a Cardinal is baseball's greatest living player. After the death of Willie Mays, you can make the case for Albert Pujols, who is 4th all-time in homers and 2nd all-time in RBIs. It's been almost 2 years since he hit his 703rd and final home run. Now he's launching balls off the tee on the golf course, hitting drives nearly 300 yards. I asked him today if he's taking any baseball swings lately.
Actually, I'm gonna lie. 3 weeks ago, I took a swing in Birmingham when I swung that softball. It was 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, and I was sore, Frank, like my oblique for like a week. I kind of prepared myself really well over the last 2 or 3 years before I retired. Just so that way it doesn't hit me like a lot of the athletes do.
Paul Skeens making his 11th.
Well, here is the most talked about pitcher on the planet, the 22-year-old Pirate right-hander, Mr. Skeens. He had it going against the Brewers today. He struck out 11, went 7 hitless innings. Yes, I said he had a no-hitter. They took him out after 99 pitches. Hate that. Brewers got beat 1-0, so the Cardinals are 5 back. Of all the stories I've done in 31 years, this one in October may have hit me the hardest. It was about a sports dad who was dealt a bad cancer diagnosis, but got to see his boy doing something special for Mizzou. These 3 words behind me, that's my boy, I won't forget. Let's go to Lexington, Kentucky in October for the story. He literally was born to be a Tiger. There aren't many photos of Luke Bauer as a toddler where he's not a Tiger. And on Saturday, he had a moment that Tiger fans will never forget.
Oh my.
Big lead. Look at him fake it, and the throw to the sideline is caught! Touchdown, Missouri, Marcus Johnson!
The punter threw a touchdown.
His father, Jeff, was in the stands.
I was young. That's my boy. That's my boy. That's my boy. And everybody realized around me that I was Luke's dad. And everybody just came over and just started high-fiving and cheering. Here comes the throw.
They watched it again for us today.
I don't know whoever said that wasn't a good throw, but that was a heck of a throw and a heck of a catch.
Now, right after the game, Jeff and Luke had another moment to remember.
I saw him and I just started crying. He started crying. It was just an emotional moment and one I'll remember for the rest of my life. Jumping up and down and I'm going, that's my boy, that's my boy.
Jeff Bauer battled kidney cancer courageously for over 2 years. Tonight, he passed away at the age of 59. He is survived by his wife, Kathy, and his sons, Luke and Jake, and his daughter, Audrey. We'll take a break and be right back.
It's a Hollywood homecoming to St. Louis. Actress Jennifer Lewis is getting a star in the city's Walk of Fame. Lewis grew up in Kinloch, Missouri before earning notoriety in shows and movies like Blackish and The Princess and the Frog. She says coming back is a better feeling than getting the star.
Well, it's home. It's home for me, and it just makes me happy. It makes me happy to come home. St. Louis gave me my start.
And Lewis got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2022. She'll join other notable St. Louisans on the city's walk, such as Chuck Berry, John Goodman, and many more. Thanks so much for joining us. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next, and be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis, and that starts at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.